Alright, what's up, guys? We're back. This is not going to be a very happy episode, contrary to some of our other episodes. Um, we're going to get right into it. We're not doing trivia today, even though I do have trivia. We're just not going to do it today due to the nature of the episode. So if you're looking for trivia, you can stick around till next week when we do it. So, today is going to be mainly two things. The first one is not going to be a fun topic, and I think if you've been watching the news at all the last few days, you'll know exactly what we're talking about. Kyle Busch passed away at the age of 41 on Thursday. Last Thursday. It's almost a week ago now. And I gotta be honest with you, it doesn't feel real still. He had pneumonia that turned septic, killed him very fast. So there's that, and it's looking back over the last couple of weeks leading up to his death, you can see the signs that maybe something was wrong, but nothing that could have or people would think to act on. The main one was during the Watkins Glen race, when during a caution with about 30 to go, he radios into his crew and says that he is going to be required. He wants medical assistance after the race to see one of the doctors. Do you get a shot? And he had been dealing with a sinus cold or something, and they just thought that the elevation of the track, being Watkins Glen, was accelerating it, so that's why he needed it. Really, that's when the doctor should have said, get the fuck out of the car, go to the hospital. But he didn't. Probably because Kyle Busch didn't know, thinking it was just a cold. They go on to Dover. He wins the fucking truck race. Ends up being his last win ever. And in his post-race interview, he creepily says that you never know when it's going to be your last. It ended up being his last. And then he also sounds pretty stuffed up during the interview. He's asked about it a couple more times over the weekend. Says it's still pretty bad, but it's just a cold. Moves on. And he becomes unresponsive in a racing simulator in Charlotte Wednesday. Rushed to the hospital, where he goes septic. Passes away. And like I said, it's still, even almost a week later now, it still doesn't feel real. Like, this is literally the first time that an active driver in NASCAR has died since Dale Earnhardt. So the first time in my lifetime for me. I think for Garry too. So it especially, and there's that, but also the fact that it's Kyle Busch, literally one of the most iconic drivers of all time in NASCAR. He won 234 races across the three series, most all time. Two-time champion, 63 Cup wins. And if you watch NASCAR from 2008 to 2019, mainly, but even a little bit before or a little bit after that, you know the impact that Kyle Busch had on the sport. He was unstoppable. Was he always the cleanest guy? No, absolutely not. He earned the nickname Rowdy for a reason. I mean, how can we forget him crashing Ron Hornaday at Texas in the trucks in 2011, or when he flipped off an official at Texas that same weekend? on pit road. Or I mean, or when he and his brother Kurt got into a crash at the All-Star race in 2007, and then they didn't speak for several months. I mean, this guy was, but he was a hell of a racer, and he'd go on and win, and keep winning. As illegitimate as his 2015 title is in the grand scheme of things, it's an incredible comeback. To come back from a broken leg, winning as many races as he did over the summer, getting through a chaotic playoff, and then winning the final race of the season. That's hella impressive. And then he did it again in 2019. I mean, that's fucking... Very few people can ever say they're a multi-time NASCAR Cup champion. Kyle Busch could. That 18 M&M's car was one of the most iconic schemes of all time, especially, again, for me growing up with Kyle Busch there. And then even afterwards, his career was on a downturn. He had a strong start with RCR, won 3 races, but hadn't won in a couple years, 3 years almost. But I still think, regardless if he was going to stay at RCR or not, that Kyle Busch was going to win a few more races in his career. It was obvious by his level of competitiveness in the truck series still. He had won a couple races this year with the trucks, that he still had some fight left in him, and we all knew that he wanted to continue racing until his son Brexton was ready to race. And he was going to run a season with him in the trucks and then retire. That was his plan. He never got to live out on that plan. And that's really, really tough. Because, you could tell Kyle Busch was a great father to his son, a great mentor. They did run some sprint car races or dirt races together. But Kyle was always there for him, and I mean, I just, to his wife and to his children, to Kurt and to that whole family, I can't imagine what they're going through. Because that's just fucking terrible. Just fucking terrible. It's insane. And again, I've been watching Kyle Busch for a long time. He was one of 3 Cup drivers still active that I was watching when I started watching NASCAR in 2007. I was 4. The other 2 are Denny Hamlin and AJ Allmendinger. Kyle Busch was the only other one, and now he's gone. And that's it's not an easy pill to swallow for sure. I personally, I don't cry that often, guys. Especially when it comes to NASCAR. I don't cry very often, but that night after I found out he died, I cried for a while. That was tough. Yeah. So, Gary, I'll let you share a few words.
I was watching my cousin's game, and I was just sitting there getting all excited because my cousin was winning, and then all of a sudden the news comes out that the guy that almost became my number 1 driver after Jeff Gordon left it's almost a week and I still can't believe he's gone. I mean, you can hear it in my voice. I'm tearing up right now. I keep looking at this poker chip of Kyle Busch. I think we're never going to use it anymore.
Yeah.
people don't know this, and I don't tell people this, but I met Kyle Busch. Um, if you guys think he's one of the meanest people, he wasn't. And he was in that stint with having a rivalry with Dale Earnhardt Jr. Um, I think my favorite thing of the rivalry was when everyone booed him at Bristol, and he said he's there to win it again. And then, of course, the Brad Keselowski situation at Bristol.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking
But
about.
that was a big Brad Keselowski Kyle Busch rivalry, and it's just like all these good rivalries. You could tell there was a little bit of Dale Earnhardt in there. Gordon didn't like him at first. Junior didn't like him at first. None of the drivers didn't like him
No.
because he was one of these wannabe Dale Earnhardt. But let me tell you what, all the racing aside, he loved his wife and he loved his kids more. Kyle Busch is one of those guys that he cares more about his kids more than he does racing. And let me tell you what, when Braxton gets into NASCAR, my favorite driver will be Braxton Busch.
I'll be rooting for him.
He will follow his dad's legacy. He will take that 8 car and he will bring it to the checkered flag almost every night. I know it for a fact. And like Tyler said, we don't usually cry about NASCAR. The last time I cried about NASCAR was when Jeff Gordon made it to the Final Four, the championship. And what do you know? Who was racing him? Kyle Busch.
Yeah.
One of the great drivers. We'll miss him.
No.
NASCAR will be missing him.
Oh yeah.
And I keep seeing these things that people like Bubba Wallace or hell even his wife during that Charlotte race, they were faking tears. If you think people fake tears, Bubba Wallace got onto this racetrack and everything because of Kyle Busch. Daniel Suarez got onto here because of Kyle Busch. Most of those drivers were from Kyle Busch. And that's why I'm shaking a little bit because it ticks me off for some people.
No, I mean it's true. Like Kyle Busch Motorsports, when he was doing that full time truck campaign, it's now Spire because the two teams merged. But
Right.
like Kyle Busch influenced so many drivers to start their NASCAR career. I think like even like William Byron was with him for a little bit
Yeah.
before he went over to Hendrick or Junior Motorsports, and um Ryan Blaney was there for a while, I think. Or no, that was Brad Keselowski's team, I think. But still ran against Kyle Busch in the trucks all the time. And a lot of and even if you didn't race for him, or like you were still are you racing with him, you're learning, or he was influencing a lot of people off the track as well. It's again, if you didn't watch NASCAR from 2008 to 2019, it's really hard to understand the impact that he had on the sport because he was everything. Literally was everything. I think I have. You brought it up. I meant to. I think I have. I have a good amount of Kyle Busch merch. Not. I wasn't
I
always.
tried to look. I don't have
I
anything right
have.
now.
I have a few. I have a good amount of his die casts, but they're buried. I have a hat in my room. I meant to grab it before we started the episode, but I think I know one thing that I can bring.
I'll say more. um, the one thing I can definitely remember of him was that Kansas race. Kyle Busch, Kurt Busch, fighting to the end. I mean, one of the greats. Oh god.
This came with one of his die casts. I got one of his
Yeah, I
hoods.
think I have that somewhere. It's buried, but
I mean, you can't. It's not specific. It doesn't say his car number or his name, but we all knew who
you know
drove
that
that.
two drivers drove M&M cars, and that was Ken Schrader and Kyle Busch. That's how you knew the M&M's cars. 38 and 18. Let me tell you what, if he didn't leave Joe Gibbs, I bet you right now he would have more wins under his belt. So, just sitting here today, it's just right now where we're at, the sun may be out. But in our hearts, it's raining and storming because we don't have our driver.
Again, it doesn't feel real that he is gone. Like to people who don't watch NASCAR, you still know who Kyle Busch was. Like he was everything. Like he had a race team. He had his own energy drink brand for a while. He was in everything, but he was also
Barely
just a
called
superstar.
Rowdy,
He was literally just
which
a
was a good
superstar.
drink, by the way. Was a good drink, by the way.
I heard good things. Um, but like, Kyle Busch to me is what a lot of people were for Kobe Bryant. I think a superstar that with a never give up attitude, wasn't always the cleanest guy, but was a huge star and passed away too early. Kobe had a chance to retire though, and live out a few years in retirement before his tragic death. Kyle Busch didn't get that chance. And it's just really fucked up. Really fucked up. Because
You,
he had I think he had at least another decade behind the wheel in him, just so that he could wait for Brexton.
more
And
than that,
I'm not
he
trying to be
he looked
malicious.
like the Joe Nemechek. He looked like the Joe Nemechek kind of racer, where he would race till he's 80.
He could have. He
you
very well
know,
could have. Yeah.
he didn't give up. And I think that's what really hurt him a little bit is because when he was sick, he wanted to finish the race. That's how Kyle Busch was. Even if he was sick, he wanted to race. That's what he loved doing.
Well, yeah. I
And
mean, he never missed a race except for when he broke his leg. That's the only time
right.
he ever
You'll
missed
see
races.
him.
Ever.
And that just we always can say to other people, they loved what they did, and they did what they died, what they loved doing. But literally, I feel like Kyle Busch literally died for what he loved.
Oh yeah.
Getting that last win was the biggest thing to him. And I think something in his mind, he knew what was about to happen a little bit. Because he wasn't feeling top notch, I don't think.
I don't think he knew the extent of it.
Right.
He knew that he wasn't feeling 100%, like, but you think our perspective as regular people in this world, if we're stuffed up, if we have a little cold, are we going to go to the hospital? Probably not. Not unless you have a pre-existing condition. Like if I was a little stuffed up, I'd still go to work unless I knew it was something different. Like,
I was
so,
stuffed up when I was going with them to where we went recently. I was fine, but I was still stuffed. But I still went. It's
right. And it's like,
one of those.
you think Kyle could have. So, I've never had pneumonia, personally. I know people who have, and I know it does kick them in the ass. But for Kyle, he's such a strong guy. He probably didn't feel it like that. And, you know, we think, oh, he should have done this, he should have done that. But if he had, after Watkins Glen, if he had decided, yeah, I'm going to sit out for 3 months because of a cold, we would have looked at him as a clown. We would have, because we wouldn't have known what would have happened had he not gotten out of the car. So,
And this brings up a point to Alex Bowman when he had that sickness at I
oh
believe
yeah,
it was Coda.
with his vertigo.
Yeah, imagine if he stayed in that car. We could possibly be talking about Alex Bowman too, because vertigo is way way worse than what Kyle Busch had was worse. Okay, it was bad. But having vertigo, I don't think people realize how having vertigo was. I mean, if Alex Bowman never got out of that car, we would be talking the same way of Kyle Busch.
Right.
So I mean, and Alex Bowman is young.
And Kyle Busch was
So
young
it's
too.
like,
41.
yeah,
40.
41 isn't old.
You're not supposed to die of a respiratory illness at 41.
But you know
It's
what? He's one of the greats. And I'm telling you what, if it's probably not going to be this year, but next year, he better be the first person to be in the hall. Because if he doesn't, I don't know when he will. He needs to be in the hall next year.
yeah, I agree. They're working on that. Good thing, good at least. And I know we're not supposed to get like super accusatory or malicious, but again, I feel like he had a few more wins left in him. And all I can say is, fuck you, Richard Childress. Like, you're you sabotaging Kyle Busch's end of his career to prioritize your son running 26th or your grandson running 26th each week is deplorable. Just deplorable.
You have to blame Joe Gibbs too. If Joe Gibbs
Yeah.
would have re-signed Busch and not gave it to his grandson, Kyle Busch would have more wins. Probably 5 to 10 more than what he has at Richard Childress.
Yeah. And like
But he proved a lot of the haters wrong. And he proved me wrong at one point. Trust
I
me. A lot of people.
and I can't I'm trying not to shit on Richard too much because I again can't imagine what he's feeling right now. This is the second driver to die while driving for him. He lost Dale Earnhardt when he was driving for him, and now this. But yeah, I mean, I just can't imagine because Joe Gibbs has been a very strong team since Kyle Busch left. Wondering what would it be like if he had stayed there and ran a few more years and maybe he won another championship. Maybe he won just a few more races. Maybe he would have had that illustrious Daytona 500 that he worked so hard to get and never did. It's all a bunch of what ifs, but we can only hold on to what we know. And we do know that Kyle Busch is an all-time great driver, and will always will be. he he made so many major impacts to the sport. I mean, they had to literally change the rule about how old you had to be to drive in NASCAR just so Kyle Busch could get in earlier because he was trying to race at like 15 or 16 and he was doing good at it. Um, yeah, it's again, I've said it before. It just doesn't feel real. Like to lose somebody like that. Um, I can't imagine what his family's going through. I was honestly pretty surprised that they were at Charlotte on Sunday. Um, I was glad they were because I think it was a good moment of grieving in the NASCAR family. But if I were them, I don't know if I would have shown up to the track after that.
Like the CEO of NASCAR said, if you guys watched the beginning, to the people behind them, to all the owners and all the fans, including me and Tyler, we will be a part of their family because when you're a NASCAR driver and when you're a NASCAR, and you're part of the NASCAR family, you're always a family to us. So if anyone gives you guys shit, come to one of our fans because we'll take them down.
Yeah, that was a really nice moment. And it was a really nice tribute that they did to Kyle Busch at the race. And it broke my heart seeing Kurt Busch there laying down those roses on Kyle's number in the infield. That was tough to watch.
Bubba Wallace kneeling down again, a guy who started his career out at KBM. You know, it just sucks.
Yeah, it's just terrible. Richard Childress did also announce that um, the number 8 will be suspended from NASCAR use and will be reserved until Brexton is ready for NASCAR. He just turned 11. I mean, one of the last pictures of Kyle Busch alive was him and his family at his son's 11th birthday party, which is just terrible. Um, but Brexton has done a lot of great things already in his young racing career, and so I think before this, people were still touting him as like a future great in NASCAR, and he'll have a lot of support behind him now, especially when he gets there. And so I think he can do some great things. But it's a good honoring to suspend his number. For sure. So, rest in peace, Kyle Busch. Absolute legend. With all that in mind, there was the thought of them canceling or postponing the Charlotte races this weekend. They didn't do that. NASCAR moves on. It's not what Kyle would have wanted. Kyle would have been pissed that they moved the race for him. So they kept it going. But Mother Nature did not cooperate this weekend. That is for sure. There was no qualifying at all for any of the 3 series. So the field was set on the finishing order, I believe, from the field was set, I think, either by points or in the case of the trucks, it was set by the finishing order from their last race, which was Dover. So Kyle Busch's truck, the number 7, got the pole. It was ran by Corey Day, and so they did a emotional tribute to Kyle Busch before the race, and then the race got postponed to Sunday because of rain. It was supposed to go on Friday. Got postponed all the way to Sunday morning. And then they shortened the race. They didn't shorten the race for rain, though. They shortened the race because FS1 wanted to end the race early so that it didn't overlap with the Indy 500. Coincidentally, also broadcast by Fox. Even on a weekend of mourning, Fox still finds a way to be a dick. So the end of the race was on a clock. And there were some big crashes early on. Corey Day got airborne at one point. Pretty scary crash, but thankfully he's okay. A few other big crashes, and then it would be Lane Riggs as the race ended under caution due to a crash with only 3 minutes left on the caution clock, or on the, not the caution clock, the race clock. Lane Riggs won the race and did an emotional signature Kyle Busch bow in victory lane. So that was a pretty cool tribute to him. Xfinity race didn't go off much better. They actually ran on their scheduled day, but it did get postponed later into the night. And there was a couple accidents. Everybody played it pretty conservatively, knowing the weather. For the most part, that race got rain shortened before it even reached halfway. NASCAR broke their halfway rule for this race because the rain was too severe. And then it was shit, I forgot who won the Xfinity race. Shit.
Ross Chastain.
That is right. Ross Chastain won. Did another bow tribute. And then smashed the watermelon. Did Kyle Busch first, then his second. So that was a cool moment. And then the Cup race, which I actually got to watch. Of course, they did that really, really emotional tribute to Kyle Busch at the beginning of the race, right before they rolled off. They did the missing a man salute or formation or whatever it is for him. In the Cup race, at least for now, obviously they've switched the number 8 to number 33 for his car, and it seems like for the foreseeable future it'll be Austin Hill in the car. Now, that was already predetermined for Kyle Busch for the weekend before his passing was announced. But I'm assuming that RCR is just going to stick with him, considering they already have him in their program. Maybe they'll...
I feel like they're just going to switch him out with, like you were about to say, Jesse Love and Austin Hill. Switch him out.
Honestly, I'd like to see Jesse Love get the Cup experience, but I think he'll alternate them. Maybe somebody will come out of retirement and drive the car for the rest of the season. Though I don't
Jeff
know
Burton.
Who that... maybe.
Clint Boyer. Go back to the number 33.
Could be Clint Boyer. I'd like it to be Kurt, but Kurt's never going to race again because of his concussions. So, unfortunately, we won't see that happen. But maybe Jimmy Johnson will run the rest of the season for him. Maybe, I don't know if that'd be conflict of interest with Legacy Motor Club. I don't know.
I don't know, because Jimmy Johnson has some races that he wants to race at a certain point. So I don't know if, because I know the San Diego Pier, he's going to be racing.
Yeah.
And then, of course, his last race being Daytona next year. So.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he'll run a few more, but we'll see. They haven't formally determined who that is going to be yet, but I'm assuming that they are just going to do alternating Jesse Love and whoever, Austin Hill. But the race had some early cautions. There was a couple of big crashes, mainly Austin Cindric and Connor Zilic got together with a big hit. There's a few other accidents as well, but Toyota's definitely dominated the night. It's mostly the Gibbs cars. Tyler Reddick was up front for a while though too. Denny Hamlin had a strong car. Chase Briscoe had a strong car. Ty Gibbs had a strong car. They all had strong cars. There was only a couple of guys that really could contend with them at all for most of the race. Kyle Larson had a strong race going. Fucking Shane Van Gisbergen with his best oval performance of the entire season. He was in the top 10 all
Zane
night.
Smith.
Zane Smith had a great run. But Shane Van Gisbergen...
He was leading some laps.
Yeah, Zane Smith and Shane Van Gisbergen put on probably their best oval performances of the season. They both led laps. Shane Van Gisbergen was in the lead when rain hit one time. And I'm like, holy shit, is he about to win the Coca-Cola 600? What are we doing? So a few guys were able to contend with them. And then Briscoe got knocked out late because of a crash. And a few other guys. Tyler Reddick fell back. Denny Hamlin had some problems. But, of course, the rain couldn't stay away forever. In the final stage, things started getting a little dicey. Action picked up on the racetrack as the rain came. And we had a few spurts at the end where the rain would hit for a little sprinkle. We go under caution. And then they come back out on the track. And we'd restart, run like 5 laps, and then the rain would hit again. I think it was like the third instance of this happening. Well, also because of this, drivers were pulling off some different pit strategies. That's how Shane Van Gisbergen got up front. And then Daniel Suarez, driving the Spire number 7, had the lead at one point during this. On the last restart, he would hold off the field. On old tires, he would hold off Denny Hamlin and Christopher Bell for the lead. And with 27 laps to go, the final rain caution came out. Field pulled down pit road, and within 5 minutes, the race was called. And that's how she won, folks. Yep, that's right, baby. Daniel Suarez picking up his first win since 2024. Where did he win last year?
Let me also tell you, it was the first win for the number 7 car in 30 years.
1996, yep, that was the last time. Jeff Bodine was the last guy to win in the Cup Series in the 7 car.
At Watkins Glen.
But for Daniel Suarez, it snapped a 92 race winless streak. It's his 3rd career victory. He has now Sonoma and then Atlanta, and now the Coca-Cola 600 under his belt as well for victories. People are like, oh, Shane, oh, undeserved win, oh, rainstorm doesn't count, oh. Yeah, it does count. I was shocked that he was able to hold off Hamlin and Bell on that last run before the rain finally just dumped on him. Very emotional win. Obviously, Spire co-merged with Kyle Busch Motorsports, so very, very emotional win for Suarez, both for him and for the situation. So that was really nice to see. See Daniel Suarez get that upset victory, and win a race. So really, really cool. Happy for him. Congratulations, Daniel Suarez, on the victory. The New Year's Eve Spectacular field stays at 15 because unfortunately Kyle Busch is not in it anymore, obviously. But Daniel Suarez locked his way in.
You know what I would do if I were you? Put Kyle Busch in it.
Unfortunately, I can't do that. I would be breaking my continuity rules. But
fuck the continuity rules. Kyle Busch did so much for this.
If Austin Hill wins a race, obviously he'll get in with the 33 car, and so that would replace it. So we stay at 15 drivers. locked in. Daniel Suarez is going to make his third appearance. And a good win for Trackhouse, too. Ross Chastain has suffered a hard crash in the race. Shane Van Gisbergen, though, had a good night. Daniel Suarez wins the race. So a good weekend for them overall. It's also the first time ever in NASCAR history that that the Trucks, Xfinity, and Cup have run on the same weekend, and none of them went the full distance. Xfinity was cut short due to rain. Trucks was on a caution clock or on a time clock, thanks to TV network bullshit, and Cup race got cut short due to rain. So it was kind of weird. A rainy weekend, an emotional weekend, but they got through it. So
that's what Kyle Busch wanted.
That's what Kyle Busch wanted. Kyle Busch wanted them to keep going. They kept going. So we can officially put Charlotte in the books. A couple other NASCAR things that were announced over the week. Daytona is getting a new LED lighting system that's going to have RGB. Don't know what they're going to do.
Which means I can't go anymore because then my shakies will get very, very bad.
Yeah, you'll get the shaky shakes. Don't know. You've never been anyways, Gary. What the fuck are you talking about?
I've been wanting to go, but now I can't.
You can go. You can still go. That way, if you have shaky shakes, you can blame it on the track and win settlement money.
And what he means by shaky shakes is a seizure because I have epilepsy, if you guys didn't know that, which I think you guys knew that. But
Yep. Yeah, I think you made that known. The other thing I wanted to go over was the 2027 Hall of Fame class got announced. They are working on trying to get Kyle Busch in on the next class. I don't think it's going to be for this next class, though. The drivers who did get in, Kevin Harvick is in, Jeff Burton is in, and Larry Phillips. And Lisa France Kennedy is the Landmark Award recipient. Those are the 4 inductees into the Hall of Fame this year. So there we go. Obviously, Harvick and, I guess, Jeff Burton are deserving of the award. Larry Phillips, weekly series runner, has lots of accolades, and then the Legacy Awards usually. It's a little weird that it's awarded to the vice chairperson of the sport, but what are you gonna do? Okay, so that is it for that. I also wanted to go over the Indy 500. The Indy 500 was this weekend. A big racing event. Thought I would go over it. Didn't actually watch the race, but I did see the highlights.
I did.
It looked like a good race.
So it was a good race. Now let's remember this. Catherine Legge was trying to do the double. Let me just say this. It was cut short. On lap 18, when they were doing a tribute for Kyle Busch.
Mad respect to Indianapolis for that, by the way. Yeah, I did see she crashed. But she finished the cup. She finished the cup race though.
But that doesn't count, though. In a way. Because technically, the only way it counts as you competed in both is if you do the 600 and the 500 and you finish.
But in order to be better than Kyle Larson, didn't she just have to finish one of the races? Because Kyle Larson crashed out of both of them? Or is that not what happened?
Why is it that you're telling me the truth? Because I think that's the actual truth. Catherine Legge did better than Kyle Larson.
I don't remember if she had to finish both races or just one. Because yes, she crashed out on very early in the Indy 500, and then she finished. She was
I
the
think
last. She was the last running car in the Cup race because she lost a wheel partway through, which will lead to cruise suspensions probably, but they haven't been announced yet.
so. Indy 500, I know for a fact that does not count. But if you count the Coca-Cola 600, Catherine Legg did better than Kyle Larson. Kyle Larson did not finish. Catherine Legg did. Hendrick for Catherine Legg in a Hendrick car. Can you imagine though?
Do it,
Catherine
Rick.
Legg in a NASCAR Cup car.
Do it, Rick.
That's like Hendrick.
That would go crazy. That would be insane.
Be the next 48 driver since Alex Bowman might not race it anymore. Put Catherine Legg in it.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. But it was a good finish. A good race overall, and a photo finish. I believe was the closest finish in Indy 500 history. Felix Rosenquist gets the win. It's a really good job. Congratulations.
The only way he won that race was because of his teammate being side by side with him and giving him draft. That entire way. From the restart to the end, they were side by side until the long stretch where I think if I heard correctly, his teammate slowed up so that he could get by him. So
Yeah, I think that's what happened. I didn't watch any replay, so I don't know for sure, but I think you're right. That's the only thing I had. Otherwise, for that, we'll move on to our other
I
sports
really
now.
didn't do poker chips for Charlotte. So
Oh yeah, do we want to do those now?
sure.
We got Nashville coming up. It's our next race. I won't get to watch any, unfortunately. I'll be at a graduation, so it's not gonna suck, but it's gonna be unfortunate. But it'll give me something to watch the next morning. Highlights. So
I'll be at work that day, so give me 1 second here. I gotta update something on okay. So for trucks, who do we think is gonna win the truck?
Trucks even racing this weekend? I guess I didn't look at that.
Are they?
I guess I just assumed they were. Let me take a look. Yep, they are. So it's trucks. Okay, all three are racing again. Yep. Okay. All right. So who do we think's gonna win trucks? Shit.
Let's see here. I'm looking. Where's my NASCAR app? There it is.
It's been a tough year for him, but I'm going to take. Um. Fuck. Forgot his name. I had it and then I forgot it. It's been a tough year for him, but I'm going to take Ty Majeski in the 88 truck to win.
I am gonna go with the number 7 car, Connor Mosack.
Then Xfinity.
For Xfinity, I'm going to go with Justin Allgaier. Justin Allgaier, I still think, is a favorite to win the Xfinity Series. And guys, again, I'm not calling it the O'Reilly's Auto Parts Series. That's stupid. I'm calling it the Xfinity Series or the Busch Series. I don't care what you say.
I'm going to call it the Nationwide Series.
Okay, bet.
I'm going to take Jesse Love.
It's weird. You took the second place person in the point standings, and I took the first place.
Just how the cookie crumbles.
And now it's time for the poker chips. For Tyler.
Haven't done these in a while, but here we go.
We got the number 21.
It's Josh Berry, not Harrison Burton. I'll take it.
Yeah, I know. And then I will grab this one. I can't do that one. I did that one last time. I meant to take it out earlier. Guess I'll do it. Ugh.
Hey, I got 21 and you got 22.
But let's be honest here. In our chests, it'll always be the number 8 car. I will put this somewhere so that we can all remember that man.
God
so,
damn it, dude. I'm going to. So we talked about it a little bit last week, but I'm going to Pocono in a couple weeks. It's gonna be the first time I'm attending a NASCAR race that Kyle Busch will not be racing in, literally ever in my life, because I didn't go to any races in 2015 when he was hurt. That's gonna be really weird. That's gonna be really, really weird.
are you going to MIS?
Not going to MIS this year. We're going to Talladega in October.
Well, let me tell you what. Pocono is going to be very silent for a couple of seconds. I can tell you. You'll hear a lot. You'll see a lot of Cowboy shirts. I'm telling you right now. What they need to do is do this. And people need to get this out. Mark my word. Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Make a statue of Kyle Busch. His home track. Track he loved. Track he made famous of fighting Joey Logano, which made me like him. And then when he stood up, he was bleeding from the head. But that's okay. That's how true men fight. So. But there's our picks.
All right. Move on now. We'll just go down the line now. We'll end off with baseball because that's our biggest one other than racing. Do have one piece of NFL news. Aaron Rodgers announced that he will be retiring after the 2026 season. Basically, this season is going to be a farewell tour for him. All I can say is good riddance.
Hallelujah. Get the frick out of our series. Get the frick out.
Can't wait to watch him suck ass this year and still make the playoffs somehow. For basketball, Grace Van Sluten signed with the Indiana Fever, so she started in Seattle with her WNBA career, but she's now with the Fever. So, cool for her. I think she'll do good there. A little bit closer to home.
That that means she will be on the same team as Caitlin Clark.
That is true. And then the only other thing for basketball is the NBA playoffs, which I will pull up now. Obviously, we're still in the conference semifinals. We're recording this on Memorial Day, by the way. Happy Memorial Day, everybody. We're recording it a little early because we both have to work tomorrow, so we can't do it tomorrow. But the Eastern Conference Finals might be over, probably will be over. By then, the Knicks are up 3-0 on the Cavs. Game 4 is tonight in Cleveland. So the Knicks should win that game.
But I usually don't care for it, but I want the Knicks to freaking demolish that stupid bearded piece of crap, James Harden, and that stupid biter, Donovan Mitchell. Squish him. Squish him, please.
Squish the spider. The
Western. You know what? Why didn't the Pistons think of that? Why didn't the Pistons think of that when they were going to the Cavaliers? Squish the spider. Squish the beard. Squish the beard.
They probably did think of that, and they weren't allowed to do it. Liberals,
I don't know why.
Now, the Western Conference Finals was advertised as the series of the century, and it's been a great series so far. Tied at 2. Game 5 is... Well, Game 5 will have already been played by the time we do this video. By the time this video goes up, but... It's been a thriller so far. Yeah, Spurs beat the Thunder in overtime in Game 1 after Wemby hit a buzzer beater to send it to double overtime. Thunder won Game 2 off a comeback. Game 3 was another Game 3. Oklahoma City kind of just punched them in the mouth and home, and then San Antonio responded by holding the Thunder to 82 points in Game 4, which is it's insane. Meanwhile, the Cavs-Knicks series let's see, Cavs blow a Game 1 lead and lose in overtime. Knicks dominate Game 2. Knicks dominate Game 3. You can fuck off, James Asshole. So that's that. Then for the Stanley Cup playoffs, pull up that bracket real quick. Though they're also still in the conference finals. Currently, the Golden Knights are 1 win away from a Stanley Cup Finals appearance, as they are up 3-0 on Colorado. And the Eastern Conference Finals is tied at 1 between Montreal and Carolina as the series shifts to Montreal. So at least one of those series will probably still be going on when we are here next week. Maybe not. Who knows? But that is all I had for hockey as well, I think.
Oh. I have one for ECHL. I didn't put it on here, but I have one for ECHL.
Okay.
That would be, we are in the semifinals for the Kelly Cup Championship. And the teams that are in the playoffs, let's see if I can find it here, is, well, first, let me tell you the final, okay, these were the semifinals for, I think this is the Eastern. Think. Okay, for the North Division, you had the Wheeling Nailers taking on the Reading Royals. and Wheeling won that series 4-1. Then you had the Maine Mariners beating the Adirondack Thunder 4-3. You had Florida Everblades taking on the Savannah Ghost Pirates. Florida won that series 4-0. Then you had South Carolina beating the Atlanta Gladiators, I think they are called, 4-2. And then you had Fort Wayne taking on Indy. I hate both teams. I hope they both lost, but they didn't. So the main reason why I hate Fort Wayne Comets and a little bit of the Kalamazoo Wings is because the Fort Wayne Comets now have former K-Wing Josh Bloom. And ever since they got Josh Bloom, the Fort Wayne Comets have been dominating us. Josh Bloom, when he was on the Kalamazoo Wings, he was putting in every net, and that's why we were on a big win streak. I was pissed. But you know what? I can't do anything about it. But Fort Wayne wins that series 4-1. Then you have a soon-to-be Kalamazoo Wings and Bison's rivalry. But the Bison will be taking on the Toledo Walleye, who are really good. Let me just say, Toledo wins that series 4-2. Then we had the Mountain Series. Kansas City faces Tahoe, and Kansas City beats them 4-0. And then the Allen Americans faced the Idaho Steelheads, and the Allen Americans beat Idaho in a 4-1 series. Then we go up to the Mountain Division Finals between the Americans and the Kansas City Mavericks, and the Mavericks sweep them. Hold on, let me get all this out of the way. All right, for the Central Division, you have the Toledo Walleye, who are looking to go on to face Kansas City and possibly have a chance to win this time. Because, me, Tyler, and Noah, or Jeffy, we saw all the banners. We saw all those banners, right? So you would think they'd do it, right? Wrong. Fort Wayne eliminates Toledo 4-2.
Damn.
So Toledo got eliminated. In the South Division, the Florida Everblades took on the South Carolina Stingrays, and Florida beat them 4-1. In the North Division, the Wheeling Nailers, who switched sides, switched divisions. Wheeling beats the Maine Mariners in the series 4-3. Then comes the Western Conference Finals, and they're already in the Western Conference Finals. Today they play each other. Kansas City versus Fort Wayne. They are actually playing right now. I don't know what the score is, but right now the series is tied 1-1 between Fort Wayne and Kansas City. And right now, on Wednesday, May 27th, it'll be the Florida Everblades taking on the Wheeling Nailers, and Florida leads a series of 2-0. I'm going to make a prediction here. Fort Wayne is really good. I think it's going to go to 7 games. Just because I think they're that good. And Kansas City is a team where you have to beat them in the playoffs to know that you're ready for a Kelly Cup championship. And then Florida, to be honest, I think Florida's just going to win the entire Kelly Cup. They usually do. I think they're on a 3-game or a 3-year wins of straight Kelly Cup championship. I mean, this team's good. But that's that for that. I think there was another thing that I didn't put also for ECHL, but I will find it in my photos. see here. Aha. So that Trenton Ironhawks that we talked about a while ago, the new ECHL team, they found their affiliation. So last time we were talking, we were actually talking about who's Trenton's affiliates. And I said, I don't know. Well, right when you guys left, and right when we stopped doing the podcast, it got announced. They were hearing us. They heard us. Trenton is now an affiliate of the New York Islanders,
Okay.
a team that sucks.
Yeah, they're pretty ass, so I don't know why you would align with them, but hey, you know.
Hey, I mean, who would align with the Minnesota Wild?
I would.
I wouldn't. Anyways, um, but no. And you know, recently, this isn't about ECHL, but Grand Rapids was eliminated.
Oh, yeah.
So the Griffins were out. And you want to know who also was out? Lumberjacks. They lose the championship in their own stadium.
Damn.
The exact same stadium that you won the championship in last year. It must suck knowing that you guys lose in a stadium where it shows a banner that says 2025 champions, and you guys are thinking, we could put another one up there that says back to back or 25-26 champions. Nah, you choked it. In 2 overtimes, you choked it.
Damn.
No wonder you guys lost to the Phantoms of Youngstown when we went there. Come on. You had one option. Shame.
Damn.
But that's it for that.
All right, we'll move on to baseball. Or should we not? I don't fucking know. The Tigers have been pitiful. We are getting close to the end of what's been probably one of the worst months in their entire franchise history when it comes to baseball. Let's see. We're going to pick up right after I left. My last time out there last week. They lost to Cleveland again, 4-3. Then they lost to Cleveland again, 3-2 in 10 innings. This was after having a 1-0 lead in the ninth. And then they lost the series finale to Cleveland, 3-1. Swept in 4 games at home by Cleveland. Great. Then they took their efforts on the road to Baltimore. They lost the first game to Baltimore, 7-4. Then they lost. Then they were up 3-2 against Baltimore in the ninth inning with 2 outs, and Kenley Jansen blew another save, giving up a walk-off home run, losing 5-3. And then finally, after an 8-game losing streak, the Tigers finally win another game. They hold on to beat Baltimore 4-1 to end off the series. Tigers are now at home playing the Angels, another bad team that they'll probably lose to because the Tigers are probably going to lose 100 games this year. Great. They need a complete overhaul of the team. I don't know what the fuck Max Clark's not doing in Detroit yet. I don't know what the fuck Jack Flaherty's still doing in the starting rotation. I don't know what the fuck Justin Verlander's still not been called out for the year. I don't know any of that. All I know is that shit is ass. I don't know. I don't know what else. I don't know what else to do. I don't know what else to say. I mean, they either score one run and lose 2-1 or 3-1, or they score 6 runs and lose 10-6. The misery of being a Detroit fan, I guess. Anyway, that's that. Garry, I'll let you take it away for your baseball stuff here.
Yes. So we got some new things going on, but first let's do Lansing Lugnuts. Actually, I'll just make this quick and easy. Lugnuts got swept by Lake County. And you know what's going to happen? Probably going to get swept by West Michigan next week. And then be last place in the standings. That's if West Michigan sucks. Which they kind of do. But let's be honest here. The last time they came into Lansing, they swept us. Believe me, I was working half those games. It was not very pleasant. But that's about it for the Lansing Lugnuts. MSU baseball, I didn't put it on here. Oh, I did. MSU was doing pretty good. They beat Purdue to make it to the next round. I think I did that last week. And then they beat Iowa. And then they go into the semifinals. Well, no, the quarterfinals. Sorry, my bad. The quarterfinals. Now it's single elimination. It ain't double elimination anymore. And they go and face 25th ranked USC. Yeah. It wasn't a pretty day for Michigan State baseball that day. You want to know why? Because USC beats MSU, right? Okay.
Correct.
And if you think it was by a little margin because, Michigan State, they're beating these teams, they're coming back and stuff like that. No. That's fully not the reason. If I can ever find it, maybe I can actually get it up.
They got their ass kicked. I was watching the game. I think the final score was 7-0 or 8-0. It took forever too because there was a long rain delay partway through the game. It just looked like they ran out of gas. They made so many errors. The pitching looked terrible. The bats were awful, but what can we really expect? I mean, they played way above their weight class for those last 2 games. Then just came back down to reality. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, and they came out with the baseball, college baseball World Series bracket, and Michigan State's not on it. Let me tell you what, if Michigan State was on it, they would be in. So that's the end of Michigan State baseball.
Yep. Another season, another Jake Boss masterclass.
Real quick before we get into the Kalamazoo Growlers, because they started this year, I do want to say something that my cousin is in the he's in a baseball classic, and he plays on MSU baseball's field. Let me tell you, the first 2 games. The first game was an ending of 13-2, and the next game was 13-4. The 13-4 game was against number 1 seed. Let me tell you what, his team is doing really well, and if they win this tournament, this will be the first time ever they won a tournament championship. So hopefully next podcast you'll see me excited, or you'll see me upset because maybe my high school will be beating them or something like that. So, but yeah, I just wanted to bring that up. But now that we're done with that, let's go to Kalamazoo Growlers. Growlers had a game of the 131 rivalry, if you guys don't know. If you go on I-131 in Michigan, between there's a highway that's, of course, the 131 highway, and it goes from Traverse City to Kalamazoo. And they usually, at the end of the year, have a belt that says I-131 champions and who wins the rivalry. They also have I think the Growlers also have like a little trophy for the Battle Jacks, I think. If I'm not mistaken. I'll have to double check on that. But that's the one we're going to focus on the most. Battle Creek and Growlers, and Traverse City. So, today's game was great. Beautiful weather. Beautiful weather to go out, watch a baseball game on Memorial Day. Perfect. Well, I guess the Bears of Kalamazoo wanted to pick some cherries and eat them, because Kalamazoo Growlers win their first game of the year of 2026, 6-1 against the Traverse City Pit Spitters, and now the Growlers are 1-0 in the rivalry. Let me tell you, we got swept in the series last year. Swept. It hurt.
I might be seeing a game of that rivalry when it's in Traverse City. Don't quote me on that, but I might be.
Well, let me tell you. See, I like all Michigan teams. But when you go up against, like last year, Traverse City almost made it to the championship. I was cheering them on because I want a Michigan team to win. I'll cheer a Michigan team on to win. But if it's against the Growlers, anyways, the next game is tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. Are you meaning to tell me I have to get up and watch this shit?
Well, you don't have to.
Before I have to go to work.
You don't have to watch it.
But no. I probably will watch it just because I want to try to watch as much as I can. And I want to try to see if the Growlers
Make sure as
can
well.
go 2-0.
Make sure as well, while it's on my mind, because the Lugnuts are playing the Whitecaps this week in baseball. So if you're not working Lugnuts games, you can use my subscription and watch the games, because my Detroit Sportsnet subscription gets the Tigers affiliates as well. So,
Or I can go on Bally Sports Live and watch it there.
well, not everybody has that, Gary. So
It's free.
I guess. Oh, well, do that instead. I
Like,
guess.
not even kidding.
What a great screen! Can't see shit. Oh, there it goes.
Like,
Don't care. Don't care. Huge. So huge. Don't care. Didn't ask.
But now that we have that out of the way, I decided to do, since it's opening day for everybody else. Let's check on the others. So far we've already had 3 games total that have ended. That being, of course, Kalamazoo and Traverse City, Lacrosse, Loggers, and Duluth, and then Wasu, Woodchucks, and Madison have ended. Lacrosse beat Duluth 16-10. Holy crap for a first game. Let me tell you. That's huge. Then Wasu beats Madison 8-3. It just ended. Then we have, let's see here. In the top of the 8th, right now, Eclair Express have a 7-5 lead against the Fond du Lac Spiders. Then in the top of the 8th, the Thunder Bay Border Cats are leading the Waterloo Bucks 5-4. This one right here is going to be very interesting. Then you have in the bottom of the 6th, Lakeshore Chinooks. Frick a Chinook is.
Good name, Chinooks.
Literally. And then you have the newest team of the Northwoods League, the Richmond Flying Mummies. It is tied at 4 in the bottom of the 6th. It's about to go into the top of the 7th because I think that was an out. Yes, it was. So they're in the top of the 7th now, 4-4. Let's see if Richmond can do first championship. I do not know the score of Battle Creek and Royal Oak because for some reason, if I try turning it on a thing, or if I try turning it on here, it will not. So, okay, I'm not even gonna try. Screw it.
Not even gonna try.
Screw it.
It's not worth it. Just send another 5 billion to Israel.
And then you have the Battle of Wisconsin. You have Green Bay Rockers versus the Wisconsin River. You have the Green Bay Rockers versus the Wisconsin Rapids Rafters. It's so hard to say it.
Garry almost had shaky shakes there.
But anyways, Green Bay Rockers, if you didn't know, won the championship last year. So they're hoping to go on a big streak. They're winning right now in the top of the 4th, 3-1. So, and then we have a couple more left here. Then we have in the bottom of the 3rd, we have Manko, I don't even know. The Moondogs take on. Shut up.
The Moondogs? What a team name.
The Willamar
Moondogs.
Stingers. Yeah. But they are the Moondogs are winning 6-0 against the Stingers. You're gonna like this one. You're really gonna like this one. Okay? Listen to this. So, you got in the bottom of the 4th, the Badlands Big Sticks taking on the Minot Hot Tots.
Tater tot tots.
The Hot Tots are winning 2-1.
Whoop whoop.
In the bottom of the 4th.
Love the tot tots. It's my new favorite team. What can I say?
And then for the final 2 ones, or the final 2 games, we have in the bottom of the 2nd, or now it's the top of the 3rd, sorry, my bad. In the top of the 3rd, we have Rockford Rivets are taking a lead over Kenosha Kingfish. And then the last one last but certainly not least, um, we have the St. Cloud Rocks, ROX, um, taking on the Bismarck Larks. God, these are so hard to say.
What are these
Um,
names?
I don't even know. This is the Northwoods League. You never know what happens in the Northwoods League.
That's true.
Um, but they got 3 outs. It's the bottom of the third, 3-3. Let's see what actually happened there. Sack fly. Okay, so it's 3-3. Um, yeah, and that's all for there. So that's all the games. Like I said, once again tomorrow, Kalamazoo and Traverse City will lead the day off at 10:30 a.m. If you guys would like to watch a Northwoods League game, you probably won't see this by then. But if you ever want to see a Northwoods League game, they are on Flow Sports now. So just purchase a subscription to Flow Sports, and you can watch the Kalamazoo Growlers, or you can watch the Kalamazoo Wings, Destroy Teams, Lido on October 10th when they play in the barn for the final season, which will be sad.
True.
All right. And then one final.
We do have one final thing to talk about. Garry and I went on a trip in our favorite rocket ship. I don't know if the vlog's coming out before this does or not. I don't think it is. But whatever. Yeah, Garry and I went down, along with Jeffy, went down to Toledo to see the Mud Hens stadium. We saw the Walleye, who are owned by the same parent group back in January. Now we saw the Mud Hens too, so that's pretty cool. I did a stadium review. There's a vlog coming out with it, plus some other stuff that we did in Toledo. So I don't want to touch on it. I'm not going to touch on it too much here, but I do have a few things to say. The gift shop layout is very, very complicated. Not complicated, I guess, but very chaotic. It's a little cramped. It was busy, so I can't complain on that too much, but it was busy. And just like the Walleye, they also have it set up to where the pins are when you're already in line, so you can't really take time to look at the selection. So that was annoying because Anne wanted a pin, so I had to go back and grab it and cut the line 3 times, and it was so annoying. I don't like that. Also, the box office is in the same room as the gift shop. That's just stupid. That is so overwhelming. So many people back there. It's just stupid and crazy. I can't believe they actually do that. Just from an operational perspective, they could do a little bit better on that regard. Okay. I also thought the outfield seating for the most part was a joke. They have the little boxed triangle area in right
Let
field.
me show you a picture. I took a picture.
Well, that part's not the
So,
problem for me. But yes, they
oh
do.
shit. Hold on a minute.
And Garry has to turn down his brightness because we can't see what he's looking at. Oh, settings.
So,
Oops, still bright.
Jesus. All right. How about that?
There we go. Yeah, so that's, we did not sit there, but that is a section you can sit in the right field. That I don't have a problem with. I think that's cool. What I have a problem with is the rest of the outfield is just picnic tables. And so many picnic tables that nobody sits in. And so, first off, picnic tables, not a great seating option to watch a baseball game at a ballpark like this. Two, because there's so many picnic tables, there's barely any room to walk around the outfield. And so I like it at the Lugnuts where there's like a field out there, or even like the Tigers, right? There's like a nice walking area with some like a fountain, the Chevy fountain out there, and everything like that. That's cool. Here, I didn't like that. They also have the playground in center field, and that is just covered up by a giant black board. I didn't like that. Put a scoreboard there or something. Like, I get why it's blocked. That's not what I have a problem with. It's that the fact that it's just wasted space. They could put ads there or something. I don't know if I know. Fuck, what was the other thing I had complained about? Oh yeah, I almost got third-degree burns washing my hands because the sink temperature was like 150 degrees. So there was
Literally,
that.
he's not joking, by the
It
way.
was literally
When I had to
steaming.
go, I was going to the bathroom, and when I was coming out, I had to, of course, wash my hands. Well, it's hot. It was burning. And I'm like, what in the fuck is this? This isn't like, I would get it if it was like 20-degree weather or like 10-degree weather, you know? Get your hand warmed up. It was like 60 degrees, maybe even 65. It
Yeah,
wasn't even that cold.
it was not that cold out. Maybe that's why all their fans don't wash their hands. Fucking hate that. Saw it at Tigers game. Saw it at the 2 Tigers games I went to as well. Fucking pisses me off. People don't fucking wash their hands. Literally a 20-second process. This is why Kyle
Also,
Busch died of pneumonia.
let me tell you this, and this is really funny because me, Tyler, and Jeffy were all talking about this during this. There was people coming in and out through our aisle, right? Well, that
Yeah.
wasn't the problem. We
Oh,
didn't
yeah.
have that problem. That wasn't the problem. You know, we don't care about moving for people coming in. It was the people that kept spawning.
They kept
First, it was
multiplying. Literally
first it
kept
was one person.
multiplying.
Then the person left. Brought a second person, then those 2 people left. Brought in a third person, then those 3 people left.
They brought in a fourth
Person
person,
comes
and
in.
then the best part is at the top of the top of the 9th inning, they all leave, and guess who comes back? A 5th fucking person. The top of the 9th inning. This motherfucker saw 2 innings of baseball and paid full price for a ticket. And he wasn't even guaranteed that second inning because we went to extras. What the fuck was that guy thinking? And they didn't even stay for the fireworks. I'm like, okay, maybe they're coming for the fireworks. No, they didn't even stay for the fireworks. What are you doing? But overall, otherwise, other than those couple of things, it's a pretty nice ballpark. Not like a one that I'm like super, super intrigued to ever come back to. But I thought it was nice. All things considered. Felt really small, but there was upper deck seating, so that's probably why it felt that way. It's very well incorporated in the city skyline, so I can't say anything bad regarding that. Yeah, really can't think of anything else crazy to say that I didn't already say in the review that has or will come out. I don't know if you have any further thoughts, Garry.
I liked it. I mean, let me just say, for working at the Lugnuts, I mean, this place is probably better than Lugnuts, other than what Tyler said. Other than what Tyler said,
It,
the like, you know, if you've been ever to the Lansing Lugnuts, we have apartments in the back,
right.
like apartments, which is cool. You know, you get to live there, and then you get to see all the home games, or if it's snowing outside, you get to see all the snow on top of the field or whatever. That's cool, right? I think what my favorite part was that triangle seating,
That was cool.
because I mean, the worst thing I didn't like about it, Max Clark wasn't in the lineup.
No, he didn't fucking play. What the hell is he
And you want
doing
to know
not
what's
playing in
funny?
Toledo? Take him to Detroit or
I was
play him in
right.
Toledo.
I was right, Tyler.
About what?
The next day they put him in the lineup. Toledo won 8-4.
Well, yeah, it's fucking Max Clark, dude. The fuck are we doing not putting him in the lineup? For Christ's sake.
I mean, I get it. Players need breaks. But I think one of the main reasons why we came here was to watch Max Clark.
That was part of it. I mean, I was wanted to go regardless of who it was. Like, I want to try and see the Tigers affiliate stadiums. Like, we're going to West Michigan in August. We'll eventually, hopefully, get out to Erie. I don't know if we'll ever fucking get down to Lakeland, but that's irrelevant. I seen Van Andel. I've seen Walleye. Like, so, like,
I haven't seen Van Andel yet. That's the only one I haven't seen that's Red Wings.
But I mean, it was fine. I mean, Toledo started off down 4-0 because their pitching sucked. Carl Edwards sucks on the mound. He was pitching, and he was pretty bad.
Carl Edwards Jr. He's the son of Carl Edwards.
Then Toledo crawled back into it. The hit matter started off with 7-0 in favor of Indianapolis, and then after that was 6-1 in favor of Toledo, and they tied it up at 4. And then it took a sacrifice bunt and then a first pitch single to give Indy the win in 10 innings, 5-4, which was unfortunate. But
and I got this hat.
You did get a hat, and I got a pin. The pin's in my room. Should have remembered to grab it.
But, I mean, this is the home hat. They didn't wear it that day, but I wanted the home hat. I didn't want the away hat.
By the way, it was also the paper night. You guys don't know what that is. It's a show. It's a spin-off show of The Office that's set in Toledo. They just had a couple of the actors from the show. Cool enough, including the guy who's the only recurring character from The Office that went to this show as well. He was there. That was kind of cool. But other than that, they didn't really do anything for that. Like, that was all pre-game. Like, after first pitch, they did, like, nothing, which was kind of disappointing.
Well, no, the scoreboard, every Toledo scoreboard player had, like, paper on the back of their...
Oh, did they? I guess I didn't really notice that.
Yeah, you didn't see it, but when they had the picture of all the Toledo players and all their, like, stats and stuff like that, there was, like, paper in the background. Like newspaper.
Okay. All right. I guess they did a couple things then. The only Tigers player I recognized was Jace Jung, who's played a few games for the Tigers over the last couple of years. He was ass, so that was fun to watch.
I will double check on how he did.
That's what I've got to say otherwise on the stadium. You can watch my review for more in-depth analysis. You can also watch the vlog for some more visuals of what we're talking about. But I think that's it. I don't really have anything else to say for this week. Garry, I don't know if you have anything else to say.
Nothing really. I haven't.
Well then, guys, it's going to do it for this episode of the Live, Laugh, Left podcast. Next week, we'll recap the NASCAR events at Nashville, check on who made the NBA Finals, who made the Stanley Cup Finals, and go over more baseball misery. But before we go out today, I think I want to do something in honor of Kyle Busch. Not that.
Oof. Ow, my ears.
The drivers all did it during their wins. I'm going to do it now.
The bow.
A signature bow.
Perfect.
So anyways, guys, that's going to do it. Stay tuned for much more amazing content from both me and Hitmaster. Until next time, see you guys later. Bye-bye.